Pharmacy in Winter Garden. And today we have it's week 2 of our Heart Healthy theme that we're doing this month for Valentine's Day. And today we are doing like a double feature. We're gonna do 2 special ingredients and we're gonna have 2 different kind of recipe things going on. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have a word from our farmer that we got the ingredients from this week. And then we're also gonna have a giveaway at the end, so you guys stay tuned for everything. And right now we're gonna run inside, grab all of our ingredients, and we will get started right away. So our theme this week is to try to have some edible Valentine's Day treats that are 0 waste. So we're gonna grab the ingredients and I'll tell you guys what we're making after we get started. So I need to have salt, Himalayan sea salt. I'm gonna get some clarified butter. And then we're gonna come right over here. I'm gonna grab one of these artisan salad mixes and some of these edible flowers, which are looking so beautiful. I need to get an avocado, which is right over here. And then the last thing I believe that I need to get is some English muffins, which these English muffins are also locally made. So we're going to take these ingredients, we're going to do some prep, and then we'll come back and show you guys what we've got going on with those. But meanwhile, if you stay tuned, we're going to check a word from the farmer that we actually got these beautiful ingredients from this week. So check it out. We are here today with Farmer Rick, and he has brought by these beautiful edible flowers, which we're going to be featuring for Valentine's Day. So, Rick. We are here today with Farmer Rick, and he has brought by these beautiful edible flowers, which we're going to be featuring for Valentine's Day. So, Rick, thank you for picking these for us. Sure. And I wanted you to just kind of tell everybody a little bit about what we have.
Sure. Well, what you'll find in there is some marigolds. These are all edible. On the bottom of the container, this is a real pretty scarlet kale. You'll find a few leaves of those. Like I said, marigolds. You'll probably find some nice pansies. These have a real nice, delicate taste to them. And pansy's cousin is viola, which are these little ones. Assorted colors.
Farmer Rick has picked all of these different little things for us, and he also has these really nice different little salad mixes that are artisan salad that have microgreens. It has like little carrots and also some of the edible flowers mixed in, so you can pick those up too. And then for Valentine's Day, you can pick up some nice little edible flowers, something unique to give instead of just regular old flowers, ones you can actually eat. So we appreciate you coming by today and picking all this for us. So Rick is from Ladybug Farm. He grows his stuff right. Hi! So now that we are back, we're actually going to just show you guys some of the quick and easy things that you can do with edible flowers. So we thought it'd be really cool, since Valentine's Day is coming up, to have a little feature on these edible flowers that came from Farmer Rick at Ladybug Farm. And you know, because you get a big bouquet of flowers and they die and it's sad. So we're trying to figure out a way to have a 0 waste but still have something really pretty that you get to enjoy, then also eat. So the things that we have pre-prepared here, which we just took a sliced avocado, some of these English muffins that you can toast, and made like a toasted avocado English muffin, and then put the little edible flowers right on top, which is super simple but also really pretty. So if you're going to make a Valentine's breakfast for someone, that would be something you could do. And then we also took one of those artisan green mixes like we showed you, and made just a little salad with those on top, including the adorable little baby carrot. So those are the simple things that you can do using the flowers. There's also a bunch of other little recipes that you can make, like using the flowers like to make ice cubes that you can freeze them and like almost preserve them in. You can make like a little fruit plate. There's all kinds of neat things that you can make with the edible flowers. And so they're not only beautiful, but they also have health benefits as well, because they can help to alleviate headaches and pain. And then the marigolds, which we have here, these you can like turn into teas and different things that can help with stomach pain, which is super awesome. So I was also going to show you guys, if you were going to make a salad like this, and if you have marigolds, which marigolds come in these little packets, and Farmer Rick showed us this, and all you have to do is take the little stem here, pull that off, and that's going to give you a bunch of little buds, and you can just sprinkle them on the top of the salad. So it makes like a really nice little garnish. I dropped a few here. You can see like it's like almost like a little frilly little floral, and it smells amazing. A little garnish. So you guys are probably wondering too what some of these taste like, and I'm just going to taste a few of them and tell you what they taste like. So the marigolds, they're kind of have a more potent flavor, and these all can be eaten raw. You can also dry them to make teas, but the marigolds, they have it's not a super floral flavor. There's got a little bit of bite to it, honestly. It's kind of potent, but they're good. And then we have also a lot of violas and pansies here. So I'm just going to taste one of these. I'm going to eat the whole thing, really get a taste of it, and see. Those are really nice. They have a really light flavor, and it's not too crazy potent. So you could definitely like leave those, incorporate them in a salad, and they won't knock your socks off. The marigolds, you have to take it easy with that, but that's why it's nice, because you can sprinkle them around. You just get a little bit of marigold in each of the bites that you take. So that is what we made with those flowers. And the other secret recipe, which we actually already made and we did last night, so we could show you guys how to make it, we made with these edible bouquets. So this is like our kale bouquet that came from Farmer Rick. And we took ghee and clarified butter and Himalayan sea salt, and we made some kale chips, which you can make with all the different varieties of kale that come in the bundle. We also sell 3 different kinds of varieties in our store. So if you guys check out this next video, we'll show you guys how to eat your kale bouquet. Hey everybody, so we are here, and our theme this week is we are going to try to do some edible Valentine's Day treats. So we have these really beautiful kale arrangements that one of our local farmers made with a few different varieties of kale. And so we're going to show you guys, first of all, a couple of the different varieties that are available, but you can make kale chips out of all of them. So we're going to make a little variety of kale chips so you can buy a bouquet, enjoy it on your table for a little while, and then turn it into something to eat a little bit later. So this week we're going to be using curly kale, we have Tuscan kale, and also red Russian kale, which they're all just different varieties of kale. The Tuscan kale is also known as Italian kale. And the red Russian kale, you can see it has kind of like broader, flat leaves. Got the red stems on here. And curly kale, you all, I'm sure, have had or at least seen. That's the most common type of kale that you usually find in the grocery store. So that's one of the 3 ingredients we're using today. So we've got the kale. The other things we're going to use is the ghee clarified butter, which I already have pre-melted here. And then I've got Himalayan sea salt. Then as far as the oil goes, you can use any kind of oil. You could use like olive oil, coconut oil, even melted butter, I suppose. If you wanted, you just have to make sure that it's pre-melted. And then the only tools that you need are some kind of baking pan or baking sheet, a bowl to mix the oil into the kale leaves, and then either some kitchen shears or a knife so you can trim up the kale leaves to get all the stems off. Okay, so we've got these all rinsed, and now I'm just going to cut, using my kitchen shears, I'm just going to cut the big pieces of the stems off to kind of get the tougher bits off, because it has to be the thinner leaves. That's what's going to cook up to make the little crispy chips. I'm going to trim these off. And that was the curly kale. And I'm going to put those into my bowl, these stems aside. And then I'm going to do the same thing. See the Tuscan or Italian kale leaves, those are nice and broad. These will make awesome chips. And cut these off here. All right. Well, then you can kind of also tear them into bite-sized pieces. So those are pretty big. And so these are the red Russian leaves, and like I said earlier, you can see that they have like the red stems, and they look almost sort of like an overgrown oak leaf almost, but they're really pretty with their purple color. Now that I have this kale all trimmed up, I'm just going to drizzle the ghee oil right onto this. And you can see the ghee looks literally almost, it is oil essentially, although it came from butter. It's now butter oil. So it goes on there really nicely. And then I'm going to put on some salt, not a load of salt, because when the chips shrink up a little bit, They become overly salty if you overdo it with the salt. So I would underdo the salt before I overdo it. I'm just going to massage the oil into the leaves till they're all kind of evenly coated. Now these are all nice and oily looking. You see that literally takes just a second to kind of spread it out there. All right, and then I'm just going to take the kale, all the different varieties of kale that we have here, and we'll lay them out where they're not really overlapping each other in my pan. Usually whenever I make kale chips, I make several pans at once because they kind of take up a lot of room on a pan since you have to spread them out. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention is that you want to make sure that they're dried off pretty well before you do this oiling part, because if they're too wet from the rinsing process, it'll take them a little longer to bake. They won't get quite as crispy. So I'm just going to spread these out. These are the red Russian ones. We've got some of the Tuscan ones there, the curly kale pieces here, and let me just get these spread in here. All right, and this pan is just about full. Okay, so now that we have these spread out in the baking pan, I'm just going to put them in the oven. It takes anywhere maybe from 10 to 15 minutes depending on how hot your oven runs. We have our oven set to 350, and so I'm just going to put them right in here and keep an eye on them. When the edges of the kale start to get a little bit brown, they look a little bit crispy, we'll pull them right out. All right, so the kale chips have been in the oven for about 10 minutes, and it looks like they are done. So you can see here the edges start to get a little bit brown and crispy, and they are like really nice and flat. They shrink up some, but not a ton. So they get really nice and chip-like. So I'm just going to take these off and put them on a plate. All right, so I'm putting the kale chips in here. They cool almost instantly, so you can pretty much pull them off the pan and eat them. But you can see some of the red Russian ones stayed a little bit flatter. The curly kale chips kind of curl up a little bit here. All right, so that first little pan of kale chips that we did made these. So basically you could pretty much indefinitely make these and eat these and have enough energy to keep making another pan and keep eating the next pan. So you need to have a big stash of kale ready to go and just keep standing in the kitchen making them and eating them as you go. They are super crispy and delicious. I'm going to give them to my kid to try. I'm sure he'll like them too. So hope you guys enjoy your edible arrangement this Valentine's Day and have a zero waste floral arrangement for your table. All right, so we hope that you guys enjoyed learning how to make your own different variety of kale chips at home, what we made here with these edible flowers, but especially this week with these cool flour ingredients. We would love to see what ideas you come up with and how to use them creatively in your recipes. So if you use hashtag the pharmacy plate, that is how we kind of put all of the different recipes together that everyone in our community is using. That's the hashtag that we use for these ingredients. So if you check out this quick video next, it'll show you how to use that, and then you can share your recipes this week and every week with what you make. Hey guys, Kathy from the pharmacy here. You've asked us for recipes, so we decided to start a community-sourced e-cookbook. Next time you make a dish with any ingredients from the pharmacy, just snap a pic, add the recipe in the description, and use hashtag the pharmacy plate. Want to find a recipe? Just search for hashtag the pharmacy plate. Use recipes and share recipes from people in your community with food sourced from your community. So you guys who watch us regularly, you know that we do a giveaway every single week. Last week we did the raw sauerkraut, and our winner was Corin Burnstead. Congratulations, Corin. I'm sure that you already came in and got your sauerkraut. This week we're giving away a bundle of kale and one of the beautiful flower packages, so you can have your own kale chips and flowers that you make and put on display at home, and so you turn them into something that you want to eat after Valentine's Day. So all you have to do to enter this week's giveaway is just comment on the video anytime during the week, and then next week we'll be doing the drawing, and then you can come pick up your prizes. So we hope that you guys enjoyed this week's demonstration and the things that we make with our unique local ingredients. If you're looking for other Valentine's Day ideas, we also have some really cool locally made treats in our store that are like gluten-free, paleo, little chocolates and cookies. We've got all kinds of good stuff, different soaps and toiletries and whatnot, all locally made. So if you're trying to do a more locally sourced, healthy geared Valentine's Day, staying away from some of the regular sweets, this is a good way to do it. And so we hope that you guys enjoy your Valentine's Day coming up next week. We hope to get to join us next Saturday for another fun recipe. And I hope you guys stay healthy, and we'll see you next Saturday. Have a great weekend.